Hi, today I'm going to be talking about three brand new Yankee Candle fragrances for 2019 that have been added to the core collection. These have been released as individual fragrances a couple of months apart in the first half of 2019, so they don't form a collection in themselves, or if you like, there is a loose link between them. They form a collection that's been released kind of 5 months apart, if you like. The interesting thing about these, they're available in all formats because they are part of the core collection, so all jar sizes, votives, melts, tea lights, and most importantly, because I get asked about this all the time, melt cups. So melt cup fans, you can get Seaside Woods, Moonlit Blossoms and Alfresco Afternoon in melt cups. So they're your releases for the first half of the year. Now, one little bit about this, which I'll delve into a little bit more later on, are these, what I think, and I think I'm right in this, these are going to be the last brand new fragrances from Yankee Candle to be released with the classic label on before there's a label change. So you may get re-releases that use this label, I'm not quite sure, but in terms of brand new fragrances, these are the last trio to use this label in the UK and Europe. I know the USA moved on to a different label a couple of years ago. We're not getting the USA labels, we're going to get something different. But in terms of the classic Yankee Candle label, these are the last three to be released. So let's go through them one by one. We'll start with a visit to the beach, and then we'll go for a moonlight stroll, and we'll finish with a picnic in the park. So let's head off to the beach, my favourite place. But this isn't lying on the beach and doing nothing. This is, let's have a look at Seaside Woods. Now let's see what that label inspires you there. It's got kind of polished stones and wood, driftwood up there, and it's kind of almost like a black sandy beach, very wild, rugged aspect, rather than your, as I say, lying on the beach under a parasol type thing. So that's what Seaside Woods, I think, is trying to convey to us. It's craggy rocks, it's that bracing kind of atmospheric walk along the sea, maybe even at night. I mean, that's quite a dark picture on there. That could be a nighttime or twilight or early morning scene, you know, something like that with low lighting. So it's a beautiful label, very elegant, quite chic, but also wild and rustic at the same time. So there we go. And you've got that lovely kind of sandy wax colour, which automatically takes you off to the beach there. So that's Seaside Woods. Well, let's have a smell. It's very invigorating, this one. So as you'd expect, if you're kind of walking through, going around rock pools, and you're at a kind of craggy beach, and the wind's blowing, but that wood, I don't know if you've ever kind of smelled wood at the beach that's kind of had the sea impact with it. It has a kind of salty, distinct aroma. This is more like a fantasy, kind of polished, oily wood aroma that you'd expect from wood at the beach. So, and it's quite, this is almost quite an aftershave-y-like fragrance, Seaside Woods. It's a clever mix, and it's got a sharp note to it as well. So it's definitely more in the fantasy range of the wood at the beach, I think, more than anything else this brings to mind. But you can pick up that scented breeze, and it's like wearing your favourite cologne. So if you're out for an evening stroll at the seaside and you pick up a piece of wood, something like that. Seaside Woods, let's have a look. It says, surround yourself in cosy intrigue. Driftwood mingles with brilliant citrus and floral notes for the perfect coastal escape. Now on cold sniff, it's quite hard to pick up the floral. I think I can, that sharpness that I mentioned, that may hint to the citrus. So let's explore a bit further. Top notes are orange blossom and cool citrus. So the first thing that does hit you is that kind of sharpness that you can get from citrus. So that must be the cool citrus. The orange blossom is there somewhere. I can't quite pick that up on first sniff. The middle notes are sweet alyssum, which is a very sweet flower, and acacia, which of course is wood. And at the bottom of this, you've got cottonwood and driftwood. So very woodsy, that kind of polished, oily woodsiness. It's very nice. That's Seaside Woods, so it's quite an interesting one, that one. So definitely one for people who've liked beechwood and driftwood in the past. Have a smell of Seaside Woods if you haven't got it already. Let's head into the night time now. So it's a spring or summer's night. It's warm and it's fragrant with the flowers in the air, as some of the night blooms do. And you're out for a moonlit walk. So let's have a look at that. There we go. So there's Moonlit Blossoms. Moonlit Blossoms there. Lovely kind of mixed floral label, more kind of wild flowers than anything else, I guess, there. So this is kind of giving you that wild aspect. And it's got a deep purple wax colour, you can see there. So Moonlit Blossoms, Now the first thing that hits you with this one is it's really, really fruity. So the floral's there, but it's much more of an undertone. It's a plummy, warm fruitiness that hits you, and a couple of fruity notes. I think personally this one, if it had been called Moonlit Fruit or Moonlit Berries, that would have been a more apt description. I haven't burned it yet, so I don't know. Perhaps the florals will come out more when you burn it, and of course the base notes, certainly you pick those up more when you burn, don't you? So it's the top notes that hit you first when you sniff it, and you get the blend of all of the notes and pick out individual things as you burn. But Moonlit Blossoms is a moonlit stroll with rich floral and berry notes. It takes an enchanting turn with mysterious warm amber, so I think it's amber in the base. That's the most difficult thing to pick up first off. We have pomegranate and blackberry at the top, so that's what really hits you. The richness of blackberry and the kind of almost gives you that warm evening feel, the pomegranate, I think, because it's quite a warming fruit fragrance, pomegranate. And then you have the wonderful jasmine, I'm getting ahead of myself, lang lang and lavender. So fresh and invigorating florals in the middle, which I think will come out more on burning. You can smell them under that fruit, but the fruit's so strong, it's what draws you into this fragrance. And then you have amber and white musk, which will give it a warmth and a perfume to it. So it's an interesting one. To me, it's much more fruity than floral. I think it's in the floral category, it is. But I find this one more fruity than floral. Let's see how it burns, and I'll be interested to hear what people think about this one who've burned it already. And now, last but not least, a sneak preview, because this will be out in the shops within the next few weeks, but I don't think it's there yet in the UK and Europe. It's Alfresco Afternoon. Alfresco Afternoon, and it has a kind of pale to mid-green wax colour and a label of oranges on a picnic blanket. Basically orange juice and nectarines and all things orange. So it's quite attractive, but what's it like? Now this one, I'll make no secret, I've done these in release order, but I normally leave my favourites till last, and I think this is my favourite. Oh. This is me. This is quite unusual. It's not like anything we've had really in the UK and Europe before. I think Americans may be more familiar with this type of fragrance because they've had a few leafy kind of outdoorsy autumnal fragrances. We've not really had a leafy green tree-like fragrance in the UK for a long time, and that's what it's like. It's like a spring or summer's day and you're in the park and the beautiful smell of trees are all around you, but it's got a rich, warming orange note to it too, so you can pick up that fruit. So it is like literally, it's a hot summer's day, you're in a park, you go and sit under a tree, you get out an orange or a smoothie or whatever, and that's what it's like. But you've got that lovely, the most amazing thing for me is the woodsy green notes that we've not really had in a candle in the UK and Europe for a long time, if ever, in this one, Alfresco Afternoon. So it's really pretty, it's very outdoorsy and very different to the other two. So the thing with Alfresco Afternoon, I'll describe it in a minute, but this one for collectors, I think, if I'm right, this may well be the last ever Yankee Candle jar to be released with the classic label on that we're used to in the UK and Europe. This will be the last brand new fragrance, I think, to be released with this label ever. So collectors who've got loads of jars with these labels on, Yankee are kind of looking at what the labels are going to be for the future. They're going to tweak them. They're not going to be hugely different, I don't think. There'll be a variation on what we've got, but this will be the last ever brand new release with the classic Yankee Candle label on it. So collectors take note. Anyway, Alfresco Afternoon, as I say, it's beautiful. Let's have a look. It's a picnic in the shade, surrounded by wildflowers and juniper buds with just a touch of nectarine swirling in the breeze. I love it. I really love this one. It's so outdoorsy and leafy, as I say, it's so unusual. We have fresh ericord and eucalyptus up top, so you can't go wrong with that. That really gives you that bracing kind of outdoorsy feel. And then you have nectarine blossom and aromatic juniper in the middle. So the juniper's a lovely thing, isn't it? It goes in gin and that kind of stuff. So it's the nectarine oranginess, and you can get that kind of twist of the juniper in there. So it doesn't have to be a totally pure orange juice or smoothie. You can have something a little bit naughty in it. The juniper gives you that hint. And in the base notes, we've got conifer leaves and woody notes, and that's unusual, really, isn't it? Because it's the fresh air mixing with those base notes, and they do come through unusually on cold sniff. So I'm really interested to see how this one burns. I think it's definitely my initial favourite out of the three, and I'm so pleased that we've got a leafy green kind of summery fragrance in the UK like this. And I hope you enjoy it. So there we go, that's very interesting. So it's a farewell to these classic Yankee Candle labels and on with the future, I guess. So we've got three to go with. So Seaside Woods is your lovely kind of perfumey, woodsy, walk along a wild beach. Moonlit Blossoms is fruity florals at night, but mainly fruity. It's blackberry and pomegranate. And Alfresco Afternoon, something new that we've not really had before in the UK and Europe. It's a woodsy green, sitting under a tree, sipping a glass of orange juice, perhaps with a splash of gin in it or something else. Anyway, so that's it. Thanks for watching. These are brand new fragrances. They're out now. They're available in all formats. And enjoy. I'll be back with you soon with some more Yankee Candle videos, no doubt. Thanks for watching.